Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call the meeting to order. The invocation will be by Commissioner Joel Keller, pledge allegiance by Rosemary Wilson, Commissioner Wilson, and the roll call will be done after that. Let's please stand.
Heavenly Father, as we gather here this evening, as always, we ask your blessing on our meeting. Give our members the wisdom to make the good decisions for our city. We ask a blessing on all of our citizens as the summer starts. Keep them safe as they travel around on their vacations. Bring them back safely to us. We ask a blessing on our first responders as they keep us safe in our city. Keep them safe with the job that they do. And as always, Lord, our military, wherever they are in the world, keep them safe and bring them home to us. We ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Grogan?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Furstner's absent. Commissioner Keller?
Here.
All right, presentations and proclamations. Proclamations, Small Cities Month, June 2017. Do I have that? I don't have that.
It's online.
Huh?
It's online.
I don't have my computer's broke, my laptop. Can you read that, John?
Okay.
Yeah, my computer isn't working.
Whereas small cities under 50,000 population are the home to millions of Americans and constituents and constitute the vast majority of municipalities across the United States. And whereas small cities and towns strive to strengthen their communities through the provision of services and programs to improve the quality of life for all citizens, and whereas the federal government is the essential partner in the success of small cities and towns and must be encouraged to continue to support programs and legislation that strengthen small communities. And whereas state governments and partners in the success of small cities and towns and must be encouraged to continue to support key programs and legislation that strengthen communities and sound like the same. And whereas organizations, businesses, and citizens are partners in the success of small cities and towns and must be encouraged to continue to grow their efforts to make small communities a viable choice for people to live in. And whereas during the challenging economic times, the need for a renewed intergovernmental partnership to support essential public services is more important than ever to ensure the safety and growth of small town America. And whereas the National League of Cities President and Small Cities Council of the National League of Cities have declared June 2017 as a Small Cities Month. Now therefore, the City Commission of the City of Ocoee does hereby proclaim June 2017 as Small Cities Month and encourages President Trump, Congress, state governments, organizations, businesses, and all citizens to recognize this event and to work together this month and throughout the year to invest in small cities and towns to better their lives of all citizens.
Thank you, John. Next, we have the presentation of Officer of the First Quarter to Kevin Birdsong by the CACOPD Board members.
Good evening. I'm Victoria Laney from the Citizen Advisory Council for the Ocoee Police Department, and we have Member Murray here with us, and he's on the council as well. And we're so pleased to be able to present this award to Officer Birdsong. Kevin Scott Birdsong started his law enforcement career with the Ocoee Police Department in February of 2014. And he had the full support of his wife of 12 years, Jane, and his two children, Benjamin, who's a 12-year-old son, and Meredith, a 10-year-old daughter. After spending 2 years on midnight shift, he had the goal of becoming a motor officer on the traffic unit, so he was selected for a motorcycle position. Officer Birdsong has completed multiple traffic-related training classes, Those include the Traffic Homicide Investigations Team, Advanced Roadside Impairment Detection, Enforcement, and DUI court case preparation. Officer Birdsong has over 30 career DUI arrests, and he's actively enforcing our traffic laws on a daily basis. Officer Kevin Birdsong is also proficient in American Sign Language, and he's used his knowledge to assist citizens who are deaf or hard of hearing. So we have wonderful officers on the force, and it's always a challenge to decide among them of who should receive Officer of the Quarter. But this is what Officer Birdsong did this past quarter that led to us voting that he should receive this award. On February 21st, 2017, he conducted a traffic stop on State Route 50. He realized something was immediately different about this traffic stop. In the vehicle, there was a family, and there were several children there with the parents. He just could see there was something not right, so he asked dispatch to check the names of the adults in the vehicle, and he noticed an alert on his computer screen. As we know, Officer Birdsong's assigned to the traffic motor unit, and he was on his motorcycle at the time of this traffic stop in the middle of busy State Route 50. He didn't have the comfort of a vehicle to view his computer screen for further information. Dispatcher advised Officer Birdsong that Detective Grogan, who's one of our detectives who specializes in families and children, and she had placed a hold on the parents and the children at the request of the Department of Children's and Families. DCF had determined the children's well-being may be in jeopardy, and they were seeking the help of law enforcement. Officer Birdsong called for Detective Grogan over the radio, and she provided him with the additional information he needed to take action. They called the Department of Children and Families. They arrived, and they removed the children from the parents, and they were placed with a safe family member. Department of Children and Families has since advised all of the children are in school now, and they're doing well. The parents tested positive for illegal drugs and were enrolled in a program which provides wraparound services for the entire family in hopes of having them reunited. They can be reunited as family once the parents are drug-free, sober, and they can provide a stable home for the family, not in a car. Officer Birdsong demonstrated on this day and every day the professionalism the Ocoee Police Department strives to project towards the citizens of Ocoee. He used his training and instincts to determine this traffic stop needed further investigation. That led to the discovery of the DCF hold and the ultimate placement of the children in a safe environment and the program that can reunite the family if all goes well. So please join us now in congratulating Officer Kevin Birdsong on a job well done and the City of Ocoee Police Department's Officer of the First Quarter.
not want any pictures with your family?
Oh, yes, we usually have pictures with the family.
Get a picture with your
Come on
wife
down.
and children.
Come on down.
Come back and get the picture made.
Come on. We'll move again. Okay, prop it in.
Thank you. All right, next is comments from citizens or the public. Anything to make comments, anybody has any comments to make on anything that's not on our agenda tonight? This is the time to do that. So if you have any comments for anything other than what we have on our agenda tonight, now's the time to do it. Okey-doke. Seems like we have nobody, so we'll move on to staff reports and agenda review.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item. We have an emergency item this evening. You have a copy that's been placed in front of you. RFQ 1702, Construction Manager at Risk for Bluford Avenue Phase 2, Subphase A. And you may recall that this RFQ was competitively bid and subsequently awarded to Ulrich Construction on the meeting of April 4th, with the understanding that staff would negotiate the fixed price, the maximum fixed price for this phase, and that's what you have before you tonight. So for Phase 2A, staff is recommending the approval of a maximum price of $2,480,630.
All right. Steve, you have any comments to make on that?
The only comment is the reason we're bringing this up as an emergency item is to facilitate getting the project started.
Good.
The next phase, which will be subphase B, will be most of the roadway and storm drainage, and that'll probably be a couple months out, but it'll give a little more normal time on the agenda.
All right, thank you. This is the start of the revitalization of our downtown, including Bluford, starting with the, all the projects we have to do in the next 3 to 5 years. All right, anybody up here have any comments on it? If not, I need a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Keller. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Motion carries unanimous with Commissioner Firstner out.
That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. All right. Commissioner's announcement. Commissioner Keller.
None at this time, Mayor?
Commissioner Wilson.
Just want to mention that on June 28th is when I've planned the meeting with our lobbyists and our residents. The ones that my affected in my district would be Rose Hill. Those folks haven't got notice yet, but we're going to plan this in the commission chambers for June 28th at 6:30. So if anyone, I will be notifying my residents in Rose Hill, but if anyone else has any residents that they would like to notify, that they feel the zip code issue is going to affect them, I think that the chamber is probably big enough for that event.
Is that for the zip code?
That's for us having our lobbyists come in and update our residents as to what we've been doing, because I do get a lot of questions as to what we're
Yeah.
doing.
I'd like to see if we could put that in there, give it out to the paper to have them put it in there and put a spot in the West Orange shop, what do you call that?
Time.
Times.
West Orange Observer.
West Orange Observer. Put a notification of that, where everybody could see it.
What I'd like to also do, and I guess I'll ask for it at this point because we're talking about it, I was thinking that I have about 250 homes in Rose Hill that I would like to send a postcard to. So I'm asking, I think, John, we did that once before with your district, that asked for allocation of the money that it would cost to send a postcard. And if anyone else, I assume, has any areas that they want mentioned, sent to, we could do that also, but that's the one thing I would like to ask the commission to allocate the money for that.
I think the other area is mostly Joel.
I was going to say, I have some, and I think John does,
John
too.
does.
Do you have somebody you'd like to invite to this that we could, can we do that, Rob, by, is it computer?
I believe we can. I believe GIS can come up with that. I don't know what the total number would be. I think we had about 260 in Rose Hill. Rose Hill was one of the ones that, right from the beginning before they annexed, it was kind of a promise we tried to fulfill, and that's something that they continually ask us about. But we understand there are some others.
Yeah.
I think we could try to identify those. I don't know if we'll be 100% successful, but I think we can
But if we put it
probably
on the,
figure
also
out.
on, if we put it on on our computer, and also if we ask the West Orange Times to put some, Observer, to put something out.
Yeah,
But can we go ahead, do I have to get, I'll make a motion.
just need a consensus. I think,
Okay,
right, Rob?
agree?
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thank you.
yeah. Anything else?
No, that was it, thank you.
Commissioner Grogan?
I have nothing to say.
All right, some announcements here. We got radio station 103.1, The Wolf would like to host, and this, I'm going to announce this, they're having the Barbecue 4 Blue on Saturday, August the 19th from 11 to 3 to recognize and honor local law enforcement and first responders and treat them and their families to a free barbecue picnic in the park. This free event will provide barbecue from local restaurants, non-alcoholic beverages, live entertainment, a bounce house, and face painting. They're going to try to hold this event at the Ocoee Lakefront Park, Bill Breeze, as it did last year. And that's one of the things they're asking us for, if we could waive the rental fee like we did last year. It's for the police and fire, so is there any problem with that?
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Motion made by Commissioner Keller, seconded by Commissioner Wilson. All in favor? Vote. Thank you.
They were very good to us at the
Yeah.
Spring Fling.
Yep, 103.1, they do a great job. They do our Founders Day also. Food truck and move in the park Friday, June the 16th, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. This month's movie is Sing, which starts at 8:30 p.m. The Charter Review Commission meets the third Wednesday of every month at 6:30 p.m. here in City Hall. The next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, June the 21st. One more. Mayor's announcement for the June, let's see. The City of Orlando and Orange County government, in collaboration with Pulse, have designated June the 12th as Orlando United Day, a day of love and kindness. This announcement formally dedicates June the 12th to the memory and honor of the 49 innocent lives taken at Pulse, reaffirms the community's commitment to survivors and loved ones, as well as recognizes the global compassion and love displayed in the wake of the tragedy. To remember the victims and honor the survivors, a number of community events and activities will take place on Monday, June the 12th, 2017. Orlando United Day is also an opportunity to come together as a community through acts of love and kindness on June the 12th. You can get more information off the website orlandounitedday.com. All right, consent agenda. We need to, I'm going to pull item,
Actually, that's on the regular agenda, Mayor.
is it on regular? I thought you said it consent.
I thought it was.
Oh, all right, we don't have to do that then. Anybody on the consent agenda?
Motion. Go ahead. Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion on the consent agenda approved by Commissioner Keller, seconded by Commissioner Wilson. No more comments? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimous with Commissioner Firstner absent. All right, public hearing, item G, Ocoee Village Preliminary Site Plan, PSP project. City Planner Rumor.
Okay, for the record, Mike Rumor, City Planner. The item before you is a preliminary, large-scale site plan for the Ocoee Village. Ocoee Village is located on the east side of State Road 429. It's about 5.77 acres. Along the north side of Franklin Street, you have Franklin, McGuire, 429. And it's going to be located in our State Road 429 joint overlay with the City of Winter Garden. This project came in a number of years ago. See the applicant here. I'll let him do most of the presentation. This is a good story. for what we're trying to achieve. So the applicant, John Parrott's proposing on commercial property, Zone C2, a Class A office with retail development. You have 4 two-story buildings. The front 2-story buildings will have a mixture of office and retail on the first floor and office on the second floor. They're about 9,000 square feet on each floor, and then these other 2 buildings are 13,000 square feet on each floor, two stories. The time we were going through the joint 429 study with Winter Garden, the applicant came in a pre-app, and we discussed an office project that he was proposing, and we went through a couple iterations. We were in the process of developing the criteria for the 429, which we're close to finishing now, and the applicant has worked with myself and also with GAI, our consultant, and showed this plan to our neighboring city as part of the overall criteria. So this is how the buildings will look. They've got balconies over them, so you have room for diner seating on the outside. The site plan has morphed a couple of changes from what was initially proposed. It has received full review from GAI based off an urban design review and the State Road 429 draft overlay that we're looking at. This is a great project. Just to lightly go over the site plan, there's some reduced setbacks, reduced buffers. You have an entrance off of Franklin Silver Star Road, which is a FDOT controlled road. You have a feature that will allow the office workers a place to enjoy and people to come in and enjoy the pond feature. The project is located, I'll show you on this aerial, the access point will be midway, and you can see the on-ramp for the northbound 429. We have vacant property on the south. And one aspect of the project that we're doing is we know that the Silver Star Road is going to be realigned at some time. We don't know where that location is going to be. That's a DOT project. They are providing some future access in case a future alignment affords the opportunity to maybe have a second sort of frontage. We don't know at this time if that doesn't happen, and then this can be another dumpster location or 2 more parking spots. So we're kind of taking into account the future plans of the city. We're looking ahead at what Silver Star Road could or could not do, and we think we have a great project. This is the first project that came in based off of the discussions we had on our downtown and our 429. Again, this is a preliminary site plan. The next step is final site plan, which is the civil plans for constructing the engineering on the site. And with that, I'll entertain any questions, and I'd like the applicant to be able to get up and speak.
Well, we go ahead, and y'all have, wait, we'll let the applicant, is this Brian Denham? Come on up to the podium and give us your name and address, please. Hold it. At the top. All right.
Hi, my name is Brian Denham with Denham Engineering at 5212 Timberview Terrace, Orlando. I'm the engineer. If you have any technical questions, and we also have the owner and developer here. I'll let him introduce himself, Mr. John Barrett.
Also, sir, I need you to fill out one of these when you get through. The gentleman here. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I filled
Give
one
us,
out.
huh?
I have filled one out.
I know you did, but he
Yes, sir.
didn't. So he needs to fill out one also. Give us your name and address. So go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I started looking about 2.5 years ago for a new location for my business, and we
Go
zeroed.
ahead, tell us your name and address.
My name is John Parrott. I'm with Bridgewell Capital. We are currently at 496 Delaney Avenue in Orlando, and that's 32801. And we found this property that I thought met all of our needs. I went down and met with Mike probably, approaching 2 years ago, and showed him a very, very simple layout for where we could move our headquarters. And in the process of purchasing the land and engineering and moving things forward over several years, a lot of changes happened in that particular area there, particularly as the city started planning much more robust design standards for the area. And I frankly had long discussions with planning and Mike. And by the way, they've been fantastic to work with. And I've developed a number of other properties, maybe unrelated to my business. They're super. But anyway, so we made very drastic changes to our budget and the scope of construction that we were going to put on the property to try to comply with the somewhat of a gateway to Ocoee property concept. We then went with the Ocoee Village idea, and I think the plan you're seeing might be about number 4 or 5, frankly, from what was very, very modest to, I think, what is really AAA right now, and a fantastic improvement to the area. And I think it will really set the stage for a level of development that I think is not common now in the area, but I think is certainly in the future because of what 429 has done for that. But I think I just primarily wanted to say that we want to move our business to Ocoee. I run a national financial services business. I employ a lot of medium to high-paid office personnel and professionals. We're in the process of combining our forces with a bank that we're acquiring. We will be bringing a branch of this community bank into the same facility. Phase 1, we will probably occupy almost all of the entire first building with our company, related entities, and the bank. So this is really an owner-occupied situation, but we're building it for, something that might happen 50 years from now. You never know in business. So we tried to make it so that it could work for a number of different applications besides our own. I have developed another 6-acre property in Orlando, in the Orlando Executive Center, as an example of the quality of construction that we do. It is a AAA facility, which is now the home of the Mexican consulate for the greater southeastern region. And it is a very, very nice development, very well appointed, and we will put something real special on this property, and I think we've got an outstanding design to do that.
Thank you very much. Anybody want to say anything?
No, it's
I will
impressive.
when you get through.
No, the design is going to pretty much look like what the pictures were? Is it
I don't
gonna
know
be
that the
very
color
close to it?
scheme,
Well, I can
but
understand.
we went with the Ocoee Village concept, and we used as a model, I think, some of the most outstanding designs for this type of construction, which is the Grove in Windermere, which is a AAA. I mean, that is really a beautiful facility, and we pretty much modeled that after the Grove and the Delagio development on Sand Lake Road, which
Right.
I think everyone
I was
would
there- I was
agree
there last night.
would be two,
Absolutely
So
gorgeous.
it's modeled after the two, which we want to try to build something that would be timeless. I don't want to build something that will look dated in
Right.
15 or 20 or 40 years, because this will be there 100 years. So in the theme of the Ocoee Village and what some of the latest and the greatest developments have been that are really achieving great commercial success, we modeled after that.
Well, thank you for coming.
Mr. Wilson?
I'm just impressed, and thank you for working with Mike regarding should I say, our plans for that area. So I think are you the first? Mike, is this the first that has come forward with plans that will fit in
This
within
was the first.
the,
Yes.
what we're asking?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
wonderful.
They were outstanding. There would have been a lot of people that wouldn't have gone through the process, to be honest with you, not for lack of their great accommodation, but just, that's quite a stretch from what we thought we were going to put as an office center. But they really are doing an outstanding job, and he knows how to get everybody massaged into the right place, so.
Well, you're setting the bar.
Good job, Mike.
Thank you.
Who's sitting at the bar? Oh.
They are, they're setting the bar for the
I
future
guess
development.
first of all, welcome. I'm looking forward to the project. I think it's great. My only concern, I guess, Mike, is do they have any fear of when DOT comes in losing any of that property? Only because I know when you look at everything on paper anyway, it almost looks like it would come through part of this parcel in order to
Right.
have that continuation of Silver Star there.
Sort of the history is initially this pond was created with the thought that a road could extend through, but it didn't work out in the final development. You couldn't have the road come down and meet at the intersection. The on-ramp actually starts the on lane here. So you've really got an area to, you've got some specific brownfield areas here. So the location of Silver Star, we don't know. It's a DOT-controlled road. We're going to be bringing forward a process where we will kind of have an answer to that sooner than we thought. And we'll bring that back to you later. But you could not cut through here.
Okay.
It would be a hard curve to make it in order to make the on-ramp at this point. So it was a novel idea back in the day to angle that. But
Yeah, because I mean, I hate, it looks like a great plan, and I hate to all of a sudden, 3 years into it, DOT say, oh, wait a minute, we're taking this one building back, or something like that. So, but other than that, like the plans, welcome to the community.
Thank you.
I'd like to say it's appreciation to have you come to the city. We look forward to any of the new process and new economic development that happens in the city. We want it to be a part that we know that you're talking about doing that we'll all enjoy. I think with that design and with that process will be great. It's great to know somebody will come in and do things that we asked, working towards. We want to make it to be a good place and make it to be a good business for you also. So we appreciate it very much and look forward. You got a timeline on when you might start? Maybe tomorrow?
ASAP, because we are busting at the seams where we are, and we hope to break ground this fall.
Great.
And be in operation possibly by summer next year.
Good. Well, pass that on to everybody that you know in the development areas that we are open for business and our guys are doing the process the way it's supposed to be done. We appreciate that. We got a great staff, and I appreciate you saying that. So, all right, guys. Anybody, I'm gonna open it up to the public. Anybody in the public have any comments on this project?
First reading.
Ben, you don't have one? Not yet. All right. All right. We're going to close it and come back to the podium. Anybody, any more comments? If not, I need a motion.
Oh, is this the first
It's a first reading.
No,
reading? Isn't it, do we,
it doesn't say it says public hearing.
No, this is
Oh, here's
just a
just a
public
public
hearing.
hearing.
Yep.
I'll make
Reading
them,
of
oh,
ordinance. Mine's wrong, too.
I do read every now and then, y'all.
well, no, the next one is the first
Yeah.
reading, sorry,
Yep.
okay. Make a motion to approve?
Second?
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson to approve the Ocoee Village preliminary site plan, seconded by Commissioner Grogan. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. Commissioner Firstner absent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Being in the city. John.
All right. Next is item H,
Now is the first reading.
first reading of ordinance for Four Locos Taco Restaurant, 101 West Silver Star Road. First reading. We have a small-scale comprehensive plan amendment and rezoning project. City Planner Rumor.
as a first reading, the attorney will read the ordinance block.
Yeah.
You'll do the staff report next time?
Yes.
All right. So this is the comp plan ordinance. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan as adopted in 1991, as amended for the purposes for the purpose of amending the future land use map to redesignate from low-density residential to commercial certain real property containing .60 acres of property located north of West Silver Star Road and 350 feet west of the intersection of West Silver Star Road and Blueford Avenue pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official future land use map, providing for severability, providing an effective date. And the rezoning ordinance is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification on certain real property containing approximately .60 acres located on the north side of West Silver Star Road and 350 feet west of the intersection of Blueford Avenue and West Silver Star Road from R1 AA residential to C2 commercial pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner, finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
All right, this is the first reading. We'll have no comments from the public. It'll be second reading and the public hearing scheduled for June the 20th, regular commission meeting at 6:15. All right?
All right, I won't be here at that meeting. Craig's going to handle this, but this is another developer that's excited about what our
Yep.
downtown plan has to offer, and we'll see some more from these guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mike. All right, second reading of order. None on regular agenda, designation of voting delegate, Florida League of Cities, annual conference. I guess we're all going to be at that.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. So.
You going to be there?
All
You going to be
gone.
there, John?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be for the whole thing, but I'll be there for the committee meetings.
All right, then I think Foster's going to be there, so I think if I'll be there to vote, and I want to do that. If not, if something changes, then we can change it, but I'll be going down as the vote delegate, I hope. Y'all want,
Sounds good to me.
okay with
You need
everybody,
a-
consensus?
You
by
do
me.
by consensus?
If something happens, and I notify you, we'll change it. All right. Is that, we need to vote on that, Rob, or just have? Okay. Let them, all right.
Are you thinking something might happen? I mean, you want to do an alternate?
I'm 71 years old, I don't know, man. Who knows? No, no, no. All right. Staff action items, no more, Rob?
Nothing additional.
All right, comments from commissioners. Commissioner Grogan.
I have nothing, thank you.
Commissioner Wilson.
Just to remind, calendar, June 28th, 6:30 here, meeting with our lobbyists regarding zip code issues, and that will be at 6:30 PM here in the commission chambers.
Commissioner Keller.
Yeah, I got a couple of them there, Mayor. First one is an email I got from a lady. I'll read it quickly here. I'm a resident of Ocoee and had an idea to address a dangerous area in our community. As you are driving on Clark, and just after you cross the railroad tracks, there is a small opening on the road on the left side. This is when you're heading north up Clark Road, going towards Clarkona, Ocoee there. It happens to be near the turn to the right in front of the fire station where apartments are. Both are close to the intersection, therefore both lanes of cars can need to come to an abrupt stop without much notice, leaving cars nowhere to go to avoid an accident. I saw a type of durable road block, sorry I don't know the correct name, and I will include photos. If the city put these on the left side opening that I am telling you about, drivers could go just a bit further and U-turn in a safe area to enter the community. Thank you for your time, Michelle Myers. I'm not even sure if you'd actually have to make a U-turn because I believe the second opening where the fire station is, it comes across, I believe also goes into that community. I believe that's a four-way intersection, that second one. The first one is about halfway between there at the entrance of Lake Meadow Reserve. And so what the concern right now is, especially since there's no turn lanes on either side of that road really, as you come to this very first one, if you have people who are needing to make a turn to the left or further on, slightly further on, making the turn to the right, you have a lot of sharp stops there. So I guess the question would first be, Rob, do we need to maybe get the chief involved, take a look at what kind of accidents we've had at that location, and see if it makes sense as close as that intersection is to the traffic light to possibly close that off so that it's a right turn out of
Yeah.
Lake Meadow?
I mean, the first thing I would do is have, look at accidents and rescue calls there. Second, we probably have to have Steve Krug take a look at it. What's being proposed there might not even be something that we have the option of doing
Yeah.
because of the spacing and the way the road is set up, but we can definitely look at it.
Okay, so that would be the first one. The second one, I believe you all got an email from Lindsay Assay. Lindsay has a concern. He went to or he wanted to go to the movie in the park a month ago. He went, had his, well, I say wanted to go because he went, saw the No Pets Allowed and left. He has since been able to go to Winter Garden and Windermere city-sponsored events and bring his dog. So his concern is that why isn't the city more dog-friendly and allowing the pets to be at our functions as well? And he asked if I would bring that up tonight, and I believe, like I said, that was in an email that went to all of us. So
Because they bite people.
I know it was one of those things that we had a couple, 3 years ago, I think, when we first brought it up. So bring it up for discussion, I guess, is do we want to revisit having pets at our functions?
All right, discussion.
I'll let the rest go.
Well, you got some more?
No, I mean, I'll have some points on it.
At this point, personally, my point of view at this point in time, I'm not interested in bringing in the animals. We're going to do a lot of changing down here, in the next few years, and I don't think that we should, my opinion is not to change anything at this point in time.
I have found that when we, maybe in other cities, they approach it differently, but we've had issues here with pets and large crowds from every event from start the year off. We'll start with Founder's Day to Spring Fling, and I don't, and our community picnics, we've had issues with that. We've had issues with parades. I think it's best that we leave the situation as it is.
I guess my comments on it, because having two rather large dogs, I sort of sympathize with Lindsay, because I know we would like to. We used to bring our dogs to the food truck event. I don't think Laura or I ever got to eat because we usually had too many people wanting to take pictures with our dogs. But I do know that. As I mentioned to Lindsay at one point, was that unfortunately there's a lot of people who just do not pick up after their dogs. And so I can see why you don't want, especially when you have a lot of kids running around at the movies and things like that, where it's probably better if we don't. I've also seen sometimes where you get a couple dogs that decide they want to talk to each other in louder voices than you might want them to. For the general, unfortunately, I mean, most dogs are good dogs, and I feel for people like Lindsay and like myself who can't bring the dogs, but at the same time, I understand why. So
It's bad when they bite people.
it's bad when they bite you.
It doesn't help the situation.
No.
You got any more? You got any more?
No.
All right.
No.
All right. Couple things. Rosemary, I wanted to ask Commissioner Wilson and Rob, the tax district that you're on, you're a member of the tax,
I am a trustee on the West Orange Healthcare District.
the one that gives out the money.
Yes,
Why do we not get put in for anything? Can you not give us the heads up? Well, let me
okay,
finish.
okay.
I want to ask this because you're a representative for the city of Ocoee on that. They give out money to everybody but us. They give out $1.4 million, I think it was the other day, to Winter Garden to build a park. They're going to do that. Their hospitals here in Ocoee. They give 1.4 or 1.6 to the Winter Garden to do a park towards the Roper,
Oh, it was the Tucker Farm.
Tucker Farms.
Tucker Farm was regarding, it was coming under the health issue. And if we, I
They're
mean,
growing food.
they are growing food. They are going to be
They're gonna grow
having,
real good food for 1.6 million.
well, they're going to, they're,
But all I'm
I
asking
know, I
is,
know. And-
why can we not? And I do believe one of our guys,
if we can fit into one of the categories, that if they have looked, I'm assuming Craig, I don't think Craig is right here, has he looked, or Rob, looked into the
Mark's
categories?
looking into it.
Okay, the categories, we are bound by the district's, there is a plan, there, I can't.
Well,
I think the
lost
last
on
time we were
No, I
considered,
understand.
we talked about the stormwater park over by the police department, and we were going to have exercise stations in, and that was probably, what, 3
Well,
years ago or so. And
That-
and for some reason, they didn't like the exercise park, which we thought, you know,
Well, they're
as
now
far as
doing-
heart healthy and all that, would be a good fit.
Can we come address that meeting?
You can, and I would definitely go on, because there's two different kinds of grants now. There's a simplified grant, which is a certain amount of money, and then there's the more involved one, which is such as the Tucker Ranch, and they've also, Shepherd's Hope, the facility that they're building in Winter Garden regarding Shepherd's Hope. So, again, yes, we can
What-
look at that. And I think of many times what I can think of that we are doing, and I know that the new grant plans are after the time that you submitted, I believe.
We'll find something for them that they'll like. So what we'd like for you to do is give us information on what grants are and what they are, and then we can
We'll sit
follow
down.
up, right, Rod?
Let's sit down with.
I mean, it's
with
time
them.
they give money to us. I mean, we went on board and did a lot of things for the hospital board back in the days, doing the help design the projects and stuff like that. I think it's time for them to feed a little back to Ocoee.
And I'm very pleased, I will tell you, I'm very pleased with what the healthcare district is doing at this point, because they are, with the Cancer Institute coming in on Health Central's property and the skilled nursing facility with a hospice, you know, it's only improving what we have to offer within our city limits here in Ocoee. So I realize that you're saying that they have not done, but yet what they're doing is definitely a benefit to us and to our residents in the city of Ocoee.
But are they not also building the hospital out in Avalon or in that area, Ball,
See, it's-
out there too, right?
Orlando Health is.
Yeah.
The hospital is.
Yeah, that's what I'm
not
saying.
the
Yeah.
district.
So they're gonna build that.
And-
I'm just saying that
No,
there's
I
no reason
understand.
why they can't, and if we have to go talk to them or, but.
I can plan a meeting where we can sit down
Yeah.
and I think not as a
Whatever we
commission,
have
but we
to do
can.
to put in for it, maybe we can work and see if we can come to that, where we can file. I do know that Mark Johnson was looking at the thing, and one of the guys he works out with or something told him about it, that's with the hospital, and said that they can maybe put in for the grants and see if we could get something.
There's the
Yeah.
two different grants.
So if you let us know, maybe give it to
Yeah, I'll connect
Craig and
Rob.
Rob. The other thing is, did Mike Rumor leave? Mike's still here? And Steve? I should have asked this a while ago, but it was going so good I didn't bother. Out in front of that new project, the Ocoee Village, and the road there, I've asked 2 or 3 years ago for us to pave that coming off 429 back up to the Bonus Road. The problem is there, everybody, it's a feeding into the 429 to one lane, it comes out of there, and everybody's is full of traffic there, you can't hardly get through the red light. And here we are now, and I want this project, but somehow or another, we didn't address the issues of turn-in lanes in that area there, because we need somehow or another to make sure that road's doubled, 4 lanes or something.
Right, well, this is Silver Star Road, State Road 438. So for the Silver Star widening, there's 2 projects. There used to be one, they divided into 2. Phase A is from the 429 to Blueford, and Phase B from Blueford to near Clark Road. Phase A is funded for a PD&E. It's not funded, it's on the project list with MetroPlan for PD&E, but it's years out. So we've worked with MetroPlan, and we're going to be forwarding a corridor study that they're going to pay for on this section between the 429 and Blueford Avenue. So it's a state road, there's a project to widen it and resurface it and all of that stuff in the future.
But that's our road, Franklin.
From McGuire going to the east, not this section.
That road that goes on Franklin up to the 429 is not
It's-
ours?
no.
Up to that area where it turns onto the thing?
Right, State Road 430, it's the
Well,
state.
then why don't we not get them to do it? They did it on the other side.
Right. That's,
Here's the problem. When you build that village there, what they're going to do is they're going to cut across that road in front of traffic, either coming in or going out. There will be no thing in the middle to stop them. How are we going to do
right,
that?
so the entranceways, the access point, it requires a DOT permit. So they'll submit to DOT what the Green Book says with the speed and the lanes and the number of trips for a decel lane, left turn lane, it may be.
Right.
And so DOT's gonna have to sort of go through the process a little bit in front of this building to say, what can work now that's not a throwaway? And at that time, during the final site plan, we'll delve into those. It's
All right.
it's premature at this point.
All right. Steve, I just figured you'd know the.
Just here to look good.
All right. I will say that I hope everybody realizes tonight, and maybe some people didn't, our meetings now start at 6:15. We'll be doing that now from on, so anybody that let announcements know, we still need to let people know that 6:15 will be our starting time for our commission meetings from now on, right? All right. Anybody else got any comments? Well, we're getting through early, folks. All right. Meeting adjourned.